which is the world's largest economy? The US? China? And the third one? Or what is the biggest tech company? Apple, Amazon, or Google? But what if I told you there's a hidden economy just as big as these, hiding in plain sight? It's called faith. In the US alone, the faith-based economy is worth $1.2 trillion a year. That's more than the global revenue of Apple, Amazon, and Google combined. But that's just the beginning. When we zoom out to the global stage and aggregate the data from Dinar Standard's Islamic Economy, reports to Brian Grimm's The Faith Economy research, the numbers become mind-blowing. We are looking at a $15 trillion invisible empire of assets, consumption, and capital flow. Yes, you heard that right. $15 trillion. If we were to unite all the world's faith groups and their cash flows under a single flag, this hypothetical state of faith would be the third largest economy in the world, sitting right behind the US and China, and leaving Germany and Japan in the dust. Today, when we step through the doors of mosques, churches, or temples, we aren't just entering a spiritual journey. We are stepping into the gears of a trillion-dollar engine. For many of us, these small logos are just dietary restrictions. But for economists, they are the keys to the fastest-growing consumer engines in global trade. If you think halal and kosher are just about food, you are looking at only the tip of a trillion-dollar iceberg. As of 2024, the global halal economy reached a massive volume of $2.7 trillion. The latest reports from Dinar Standard show that this engine has no intention of slowing down. The figure is expected to soar to $3.36 trillion by 2028 and a staggering $6 trillion by 2034. However, the founder and secret referee of this faith certification game is someone else. Kosher. Representing compliance with Jewish law, the kosher market is a masterclass in strategic financial power. Although the Jewish population is much smaller compared to the Muslim population, the kosher-certified food market has exceeded $40 billion as of 2025. The real surprise is this. Only a small fraction of kosher consumers in the US are observant Jews. Over 1 million products certified by giant institutions like OU Kosher are snapped up by vegetarians, people with allergies, and other faith groups seeking reliability, hygiene, and ethical production. Kosher teaches a lesson in how to turn faith into a universal quality standard, transforming a niche market into a global giant. So, where is the heart of all this faith-oriented spending beating? Turn your eyes from the west to the east. The Asia-Pacific region carries more than half of the faith spending alone. Indonesia, Malaysia, and India are the biggest arenas of this game. If you think of sun and sea when you hear tourism, it's time to update your diary. Faith tourism generates an annual travel volume of $280 billion. The Hajj tourism market alone is expected to reach $358 billion within 10 years. This isn't just a ritual, it's a massive industrial logistics operation ranging from aviation to hospitality. Every year, over 600 million people travel for religious or spiritual reasons. More than half of these journeys take place in Asia alone. The Asia-Pacific region accounts for about 20 to 25% of the global market in faith tourism revenue. India is the world leader in faith tourism. In 2022 alone, 1.4 billion domestic and foreign tourists traveled for faith-related purposes in India. The Kumbh Mela festival holds the record for the world's largest human gathering, with 200 million visitors in a single period. The newly opened Ram Mandir Temple in Ayodhya is expected to draw an additional 50 to 100 million tourists annually on its own. Saudi Arabia ranks second in the world for faith tourism. According to Saudi Gasstat data, it hosted 18.5 million people in 2024. The Vision 2030 goals are clear. Saudi Arabia aims to increase the number of faith tourists from nearly 20 million to 30 million visitors annually, and raise faith tourism spending to 347 billion Saudi riyals, or approximately $92 billion. While Thailand hosts 39 to 40 million general tourists annually with its Buddhist temples and meditation tourism, a large portion of this is for faith and spiritual purposes. Indonesia hosts about 10 to 12 million faith-oriented trips with Borobudur, Buddhism, and local Islamic roots. Japan attracts millions of domestic and foreign tourists to its Shinto shrines and Buddhist pilgrimage routes. The Vatican also sustains the economy of Rome with 6 million tourists every year. If you think faith is only in the shopping cart or tourism, you haven't looked at your bank accounts. A silent but rapid revolution is occurring in the financial world. The London Stock Exchange Group 2025 report reveals that global Islamic finance assets reached $6 trillion as of 2024, displaying an aggressive annual growth of 21%. Interest-free banking is no longer just a religious preference. It's a global financial instrument. According to the IIFM report, the total amount of sukuk, interest-free bond issuances, reached $1 trillion. It's no longer just an alternative to traditional banking. It has become the first port of call for investors seeking ethical and sustainable finance. According to S&P Global, this growth momentum will continue at around 10% during the 2025 to 2026 period. Digitalization is even taking over the faith economy. The Islamic fintech market is racing toward $306 billion by 2027. We are entering an era where you can track your zakat, which means alms, via blockchain. But the West has its own version of faith-based finance. It's called Biblically Responsible Investing, or BRI. On Wall Street, massive ETFs like Inspire Investing or the Timothy Plan screen out sin stocks, like gambling and tobacco, managing billions according to Christian ethics, with growth rates exceeding 30%. Even the Vatican is playing the market. Under Pope Francis, Catholic investment networks are moving trillions of dollars away from fossil fuels and into the green economy. It's not just about saving souls anymore, it's about shifting the world's capital. What about ownership? The world's richest foundations do not belong to tech billionaires, contrary to popular belief. On the corporate side, we encounter structures far beyond the definition of a religious institution. Ensign Peak Advisors. You might not have heard this name, but it is the investment arm of the Mormon Church. According to 2024 SEC reports and independent analyses, the assets managed by this fund exceed $265 billion. For comparison, this figure is larger than the market value of giants like Walt Disney or Nike. Their portfolio includes shares in every giant from Apple to Microsoft. The church has built a massive financial empire by investing the tithes it collects into the world's most profitable companies. The Vatican Bank, on the other hand, silently manages assets worth billions of euros. Moving to the east, we encounter the Tirupati Balaji Temple. The assets of this temple in India exceeded $30 billion by the end of 2024. It holds more than 11 tons of gold reserves in banks alone. With 11 tons of gold held in bank deposits and billions of dollars in cash, it functions almost like a secret partner to the Reserve Bank of India. In fact, the Indian government frequently tries to integrate this temple gold into the national system as a currency to help reduce the country's gold imports. Jewish financial power is found less in retail bank branches and more in strategic property ownership and massive endowment funds. Take the Jewish National Fund, for example. This isn't just a charity. It operates like a massive real estate holding company, owning roughly 13% of all land in Israel. Then there are the Jewish federations. In North America alone, this network manages an annual cash flow of $3 billion. They funnel the capital of local communities into massive investment pools, creating a self-sustaining economic ecosystem. But there is also the giving side of the coin. Where social security systems fail, faith steps in. The global zakat potential can reach up to $1 trillion annually. 24% of all donations made in the U.S. go to churches and religious organizations. This money is pumped into the capillaries of the economy through schools, hospitals, and soup kitchens. The Giving USA 2024 report documents that $145 billion of charitable donations in the U.S. went directly to religious institutions. This money is used not just for worship, but for operating thousands of hospitals, nursing homes, and soup kitchens. So, the strategy changes, but the goal is the same. Islam institutionalizes the bank, Christianity moralizes the stock market, and Hinduism reserves the gold. Different rituals, but all part of the same $15 trillion empire. Since we mentioned the technology side, let's look closely at the digital leg of the faith economy, faith tech. There is truly fascinating information here. Faith tech is no longer just simple mobile apps. It has turned into a massive sector where billions of dollars in investment circulate, data mining is conducted, and spiritual devotion is converted into digital subscriptions. Apps no longer just offer text, they digitalize an entire lifestyle. The world's most popular Muslim app is Muslim Pro. It has over 160 million downloads. It no longer just provides prayer times. It includes its own Netflix-style streaming platform, Callbox, a halal restaurant guide, and community features. The Christian meditation app Hallow is one of the most famous in this field. Known as the calm or headspace of the Catholic world, it offers audio prayers, meditations, and spiritual exercises with celebrities like Mark Wahlberg. It generates millions in revenue through a subscription model. Hallow raised over $50 million in its latest investment rounds, proof that Silicon Valley sees faith as a serious profit center. Another app is Glorify. Glorify is a daily worship and meditation app for Christians. In 2022, it caught attention by receiving investment from giants like Andreessen Horowitz. While apps move beyond being traditional and integrate with advanced technology, AI fatwas and chatbots are also developing. AI-powered bots scan religious texts to guide users on jurisprudential or theological questions. However, this brings new ethical debates. If the AI makes a mistake, whose sin is it? Some blockchain-based apps allow for end-to-end tracking of zakat, or church donations. Users can transparently see which orphan's meal their money paid for. Other apps handle halal supply chain tracking. When you hold your smartphone camera over a product, apps that verify the entire halal journey of the product via blockchain are becoming widespread. Today, we examined the invisible numbers behind visible buildings. Faith is not just a matter of conscience. It is a massive algorithm that determines production, consumption, and capital flow. Even as the world digitalizes and worship begins in the metaverse, this economy of meaning will continue to turn the world. Do you think that faith being so intertwined with money makes the economy more ethical, or does it turn religion into a sector? Or is it fair for such a large financial power to exist under the umbrella of tax exemption, or is it necessary for the system to function? Let's meet in the comments and subscribe for more videos.